want the best fan-made content for this Premier League season?
Bringing that real fan experience. Want to see some crazy?
Wherever you are in the world,
bringing you the latest opinions
and fan reactions.
Back again.
Welcome to FanPark Live.
Brand new shows every week.
UFF are going hard this year, you know. So make sure you lock in.
Tell them, Reggie, come on!
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.
Yo, what's good, people? Long time no see. Your boy Chris Kane here on FanPark Live. I'm joined with my fellow host today. Got HH in the building. I can't lie to you. I don't know whether I'm in the studios right now or whether I'm in tape or Oceanas. This guy's really wearing sunglasses in a.
Look, man, you know how I do, man. You know how I do, man.
I know how you do. I thought I went out last night. It seems like I'm still in a nightclub, but you know, we're here. How you doing?
Look, man, living. I'm here just to again bring down some home truths, whether you like it or not. We may disagree on some points, but I'm just here just to force you to come over to my opinion.
At least foreplay first, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ease me into
No.
Like,
look, man, no. I've got things to say. I've got things to say. I've got things to say because there's some philosophies that really piss me off from managers and so forth, and I just need to get some stuff off my chest. So we're gonna get into it.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
No, I didn't actually. No.
Have breakfast. It's the most important. Like,
I know, it is. But look,
like,
man.
bring the testosterone down or something.
No. I'll try. Just I only have one meal a day.
Black people have hypertension a lot. It runs in our genes. Like, you need to. I'm playing it. So, like, I mean, what were your? Obviously, we're covering the Cardiff City Arsenal game. Cardiff City came into the game without scoring a single goal, I think. Obviously, no points on the board.
They're getting relegated. I mean, that's it's happening. It's happening. I mean, no offense to Cardiff people. I love my Welsh brothers out there, my Welsh brothers and sisters. They're getting relegated. So it's either 18th, 19th, or 20th. Pick one. That's it. So
pick your poison. Basically.
Yeah. So pick one.
I mean, you know, they come into today without, you know, any kind of form. Also came in with it's been a bit of a mixed bag. I think you know, we start off the game against
Man City,
17-18 champions. The 16-17 champions straight after that in Chelsea. You know, as a Chelsea fan, sorry, seems to have gotten them to a decent place so far.
Yeah.
You know, there's still work to be done, I think. But first two games, Arsenal lose both. But
and then people had the audacity to start questioning whether Emery was the right man after those two games. I was like, because I said, no, Arsenal's season under a new manager, after they've not had a new manager for over 20 years, starts against West Ham. Man City, record break, you can't expect them to win. Chelsea, Stamford Bridge, a place where it's tough, you can't expect them to win. And really, Aubameyang scores that chance, it's a whole different game. Yeah. Like, they had like three, not half chances, amazing chances against Chelsea. So that should have really been a draw. So really, I think for people saying, like, do you know how hard it is? Don't look at what happened with Moyes when Moyes came in after Ferguson was there for such a long time. When Wenger has been at the club for such a long time, and when he's more than a manager, he is literally the director of everything of the club. For a new coach, it's going to take time. And you can see that for Emery, this isn't his team. This isn't his team. So there are a lot of players, because when you look at Sevilla and what he did with Sevilla and how Sevilla played, Arsenal are a long way from getting to what Sevilla are about. You know, so I think that for Emery, you've got to give the guy time before you really judge him. Like, with every new manager, the minimum 2 transfer windows. So no, really 3. The one that initially you come into, but again, that's too quick. But really, you needed to give him another summer and maybe the winter one before you truly judge him. Yeah. But I think, you know, with pertaining to this game, man.
Well, I mean, let's cover the game. 3-2 to Arsenal. Bit of a helter-skelter game. You know, Arsenal go and lead, Cardiff take it back. Arsenal go and lead again. Cardiff take it back, and then obviously you get the Lacazette winning at the end. Yeah. Finished 3-2, so the scorers were Mustafi opened scoring in the first half. Who was the Cardiff scorer? Was it what's his name? It was Camarasa.
Yeah.
Before the stroke of half time, I think.
Bad defending from Arsenal. Like all, I mean,
basically deserved though.
No. Yeah. No, it was just. But I think, like, look, man. I think the check thing, I think, is an issue. Xhaka is crap. he needs to be sold. Like,
do you know what? Let's get into that. We've got some calls coming in.
Okay.
And I'm sure there'll be mentions.
Okay, for sure. Yeah.
Just for those that want to call, that don't know the number, 0203 606 0315. Make sure you get your calls in today, whether you're a Cardiff City fan, Arsenal fan, whatever fan. Hey, what's good? You're on FanPark Live. You're talking to Chris Kane and my man HH here. What are your thoughts? What's your name or what are your thoughts?
My name is Yash, Arsenal fan. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too, bro.
I thought it was a bit of a mixed game, but what Emery's done tactically since he's come in is impressive.
Oh yeah, so be specific. What has been impressive for you?
So Emery's preferred style of formation is a 4-3-3, and one of the systems he implements is he allows the wingers to drift in. Yeah. So those players that can suit a centre forward role, they get the chance to have pops of goal, and it allows the fullbacks to bomb up forward, creating a 5-man attack. And he's managed to implement that in the 4-2-3-1 system by having the wide midfielders drift in like Aubameyang did for his goal and have the fullbacks in support. But the one thing I don't like about the system is his use of fullbacks. He's using them as wing backs, and that's leaving two defenders at the back exposed. Xhaka isn't given enough protection, and Guendouzi's still young. He's not learning from Xhaka more than he needs to. So I think a system that would better suit them is a 3-4-3, because having that extra man behind, it helps building from the back. It also allows the fullbacks to bomb up forward whilst having that defensive cover at the same time.
I just want to go back on that. So my thing is I understand this whole thing about having both fullbacks up. I think that works in two different scenarios, personally speaking. I think when you're playing a 4-3-3, you assume that you're playing with one holding midfielder with two central midfielders supporting the forwards and the attacking play, right? Theoretically speaking, you should always have a cover of three players: your two centre backs and your central defensive midfielder.
Yeah, your DM. Yeah,
your DM, right? So you can afford to have both fullbacks give you width high up the pitch. Alternatively, what you can do is, as you're attacking down one side, you actually ask the fullback on the opposite side to drift in. So then you always have three-man covering that side, because when a team is in this defensive phase, they're not going to leave more than two men up front. So theoretically speaking, by always having three players giving you coverage, you should always have a 3v2 overload in defensive transition. So as long as you press well, as long as you force the mistake, so there's not a quality of long pass after the opposition have won the ball back, and then you've got a situation where you've got two strikers attacking Mustafi and Socrates all the time, I think you can get away with playing fullbacks aggressively. I think sometimes the idea could be correct. It's all about the execution, and there's a lot of principles and stuff that you shouldn't expect Arsenal to be particularly adept at this stage of the season. Thank you for your call, bro. Thank you for your call.
Yeah, Bob, like the thing with a back three is that you need three very strong, intelligent defenders that know what they're doing. I think Socrates is a very solid defender. Mustafi isn't. And I'm not sure whether you can really trust Mustafi in a 3. I think if a 4, when you're a new manager in a new team, that's the safest way to go. And maybe in training, Emery's working with a 3. Because remember with Conte, when they won the league, maybe he was working on a 3 during training and was like, you know what, I'm not going to implement it yet. Okay, let's go 5, 6, 7 games. You know what? This is the best time to implement it. So maybe Emery is slowly walking to it.
I don't think a 3's on the horizon, only because I think that we just don't have the personnel for it. If I'm being completely honest.
I mean, not like Mustafi and people.
I just don't think it's likely to see it from him. I don't think it's a formation that we've seen him use. I don't think it makes use of the midfield in the way that I'd imagine him to want to use the midfield, because and then, if you're playing 4 across the middle, you know 2 of them are going to be wide players immediately. So that leaves you with 2 central midfielders and then 3 forwards. I think Emery would want to play with more going forward. I think it's just as simple as this. You either get one of the fullbacks to tuck in when you're attacking on one side, or you just ask your holding midfielders just to sit alongside your centre-backs. So, not even alongside it. It's just a case of, if play breaks up in the midfield area or further up the pitch, and then opposition attack quickly. You should have 3 players immediately behind the ball, and you'd hope that as soon as because it's all about transition. As soon as you lose the ball, your team should be pressing, even if they don't regain the ball in that area. Let's say you're shooting on this area, even if you don't get the ball over there, you're forcing a misaccurate pass.
But just pressure.
By just applying pressure and then forcing them down one side. If you get the next call in. What's good? You're on FanPark Live. You were here with Chris Kane and HH. What's your name and what are your thoughts on the game, bro?
Right there, I'm Stephen. I support Arsenal, and basically wanted to talk about how good offensively and defensively we really were, to be honest.
Defensively?
Hey, let him land, bro. This guy, didn't have breakfast.
Sorry, I'm not saying we were good defensively, so I wanted to comment on that.
Oh, okay.
So I think the difference in these kind of games going away from home is Lacazette and Aubameyang. I think having those two strikers is making the difference comparatively to last season.
Okay.
But defensively, we're still shocking. It's something we need to work on. I think Xhaka plays quite pony, to be honest.
Agreed.
The right foot is basically non-existent. Bellerin's basically like jelly, defending. He's been good going forwards recently, though.
Yeah.
And Czech's like a malfunctioning pinball machine. I think if we're going to play out from the back and play football, we need to start putting Leno in goal and starting Torreira instead of Xhaka, because I just don't think they're compatible with the system Emery's looking to play.
Yeah.
Wait, so Stephen, let me ask you this. Can you tell me why Emery doesn't start Torreira and why Xhaka is still starting when Xhaka has been so subpar in a critical position for Arsenal?
I agree with you, but it might be because he feels Torreira's not completely fit to play in the Premier League. I would disagree with that.
Well, it's been
So
4
you
games.
have to go with what the manager says. He obviously knows better than us who to start. But looking at Xhaka's performances, he's been poor, and I can't see a reason from our perspective, watching the game either at the stadium or on the TV or wherever it may be, why Xhaka should be starting games. He's not been good enough. It's the same as last season. He's not really changed.
So what do you? So we're looking at Lacazette and Aubameyang. Do you think this is a strike partnership that can really yield a lot of goals this season? Because I think that Lacazette and Aubameyang could do amazing things this season for Arsenal. I think if they're really encouraged to play together and the team plays for them and they're really encouraged to really work with each other, I think that could be the most deadly partnership in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, certainly. If you saw last season, the dressing room was just not there, and players just weren't generally getting on and changing. I feel there was something wrong there. Arsenal did a pretty good job to sort of say what specifically, player-wise, whether who was arguing, who wasn't. Probably due to Wenger's exit and stuff like that. But I feel their partnership, you saw them in pre-season, how well they're getting on, how they're celebrating goals. There's clearly a sort of like a bromance there. It's making the squad gel together better. It's just defensively, I think it's going to take a lot of time. Emery's going to need 3 transfer windows to sort that out, I think. I just don't think we've got what it takes to finish in the top 4 at this present time. I think Europa League is probably going to be our best way, because looking at it, I think Chelsea look better than I thought they were, if I'm being honest with you. Spurs are obviously still quite good. If we're challenging into that top 4 with the sides that are there, the only side that I don't think are going to make it with us is probably Man United at the moment. That could change because obviously they've got a great squad. But I feel challenging Chelsea for a Champions League place, we're better doing it in a cup competition than something like a league over 38 games at the moment. We've got a lot more to work on than the other 5 sides that we're going to be challenging for those spots. But it's looking promising going forward, especially. It's just defensively, it's looking a bit wobbly at the moment.
All right, Stephen, thank you very much for your call, man. Very, very detailed. I appreciate that. Hope you appreciate your week, and you give us a call for the next Arsenal game that we are showing after the international break, I think.
Yeah, we'll do. You guys have a great day.
No worries, man. Same
Cheers,
to you,
thanks.
Yeah, I think you made a lot of good points there.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, you see, Bellerin should watch Carvajal. And his comparable. But Bellerin should literally sit down and just study Carvajal's tape, because Bellerin is good going forward and he brings something going forward. You're a right back. The first port of call for a right back is your defensive duty.
But people say that, this the thing is that sometimes I wonder, when fans talk about this whole, this is your job, I'm like,
it is his job.
Wait, I think I need to be careful with my wording here because I don't want to sound patronising. But I'm like, do you actually just watch football? Do you play football? And what level do you play? Do you play 11-a-side? Do you play 5-a-side? Because people always seem to understand there's this thing of transition is a big thing in football, because you're asking football players to go from a mentality of making the pitch as big as possible to making it as small as possible, like that, across 120 yard in length, 70 odd yards in width football pitch. When you're telling your fullbacks we need you to essentially be our wide players when we're in possession. To the moment we lose possession in an area that has nothing to do with you. So it's one thing to press in transition when the ball is 10 meters away from you. It's another thing to do it when it's 40 yards ahead of you, and the pressing over there hasn't been good. So that means that the quality of pass from that centre midfielder over there into the wing that you're supposed to be defending is on point. Then you're asking him to do a job that's very hard. And don't get me wrong, like, the best players tend to do the most difficult things most effectively, right? But I think you're looking at him and it's just like, sometimes do you account for the tactical misgivings in the team? You know what I'm saying? So you're a FanPark Live, you speak to Chris Kane and Double H. What's your name? Give us your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, my name's Tony. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yes,
and
Tony.
basically, I think we all saw today what Lacazette can do. Now, I was saying, I called up last year and I made a very, very clear comment that Wenger was sabotaging Lacazette. He was basically forcing him into a system that didn't really make sense. Now, I think we started, what was it, 3-5-2-1, right?
Yeah.
Last year. Mainly
3-4-2-1.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Lacazette had 45 touches of the ball today, which tells you he's a collective player just as much as he's a forward player, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you take that into consideration, and if you watch him at Lyon, he was a false nine. Everyone knows that. It's not rocket science. Deschamps used him like that for France, right? Wenger played him that formation and made him always run forward instead of allowing him to drop deep and collect the ball.
Yeah.
Who did he play behind him? Sanchez and Özil. What are they? High touch players.
Yeah.
He actually destroyed Lacazette last year, and it was only, I think, towards the end of the season, once Sanchez has gone, I think against West Ham, was it West Ham or maybe Burnley, where he scored 2 goals and set up. He scored a goal and set up Aubameyang.
Yeah.
And Huddersfield, where his touches started to become higher, and you start to see the impact he's had. He's been totally treated unfairly by Wenger, and also, you know, I felt like Unai has seen what he can do from the beginning of the season in pre-season. He should have been starting. He is the real deal.
I feel like you need to. Sorry to cut you, Tony. I feel like we need to be a bit just hesitant in terms of saying like Emery sees the light, and because Lacazette wasn't starting prior to today.
But why wasn't he starting though?
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we're saying, like, going off what Tony's saying.
Yeah.
I feel like Emery is prepared to give Lacazette more of a chance than Wenger did last year. I think you're definitely right in that. But I'll be a bit careful about saying, you know what, like, now we're about to see this amazing strike partnership between them two. I think today, Lacazette definitely gave Emery even more of a reason to start him regularly. 100%. I feel like he was the best player on the pitch alongside Terrell when he came on. I thought Terrell was amazing when he came on. But
no, but he has not. I think no, like, it's not even more of a reason. He has to start. Like, there is no argument for playing Aubameyang by himself.
I don't care what anyone says. For me, everyone likes to say Özil. For me, I don't see.
Ozil.
He's a great technical player.
What he's actually saying. He didn't say Özil.
Özil is not someone who takes over games. He's not someone who imposes his will on the opposition. And to me, that's what I saw in Lacazette today. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Listen, man, thank you for your call, man. That's great points being made. I mean, let's have a bit of a conversation about Aubameyang and Lacazette, because prior to the show starting, we were talking about you'd like to see teams, generally speaking, start
two
with
strikers,
2 central forwards. And I was making the case that with the changes the game has seen, we're not going to see, or we're not going to see the kind of strike partnerships that we saw back in the day, where it was out and out strikers. I feel like in terms of the tactical adjustments that you have to make, it means that unless you've got forwards that can do a variety of things,
which Lacazette can do. No, because my point is this, is that you're always going to have a risk. There's a risk. If you're midfield heavy and you play with a lone striker, you may not really have that full attacking thrust, and your central defenders will have an easier time playing with one striker, but you dominate the midfield. You play with 2 strikers, you sacrifice the midfield. Your midfield has to now work even harder. Your striker has to now track back. But tell me, if I'm a central defender and I've got to deal with 2 strikers, that is far more problematic than just 1 striker.
You say that, but we know now that there are just as many teams playing with 3 central defenders as there are 2. So many teams now are playing with 5 at the back or 3 at the back, so someone in the Premier League.
Still.
Right? So I'm telling you now, as a centre forward, or as a centre back, it's not so much, I have to deal with 2. It's even that 1 striker, what is he doing? Because it's good to say, okay, 2 strikers, 1 striker, but it's what are those forwards doing? Because whilst I could have my two centre backs, and there's one centre forward, we only have to worry about Aubameyang, right? Because one goes, one covers, right? Yeah. But what happens if he decides to say, do you know what? I'm gonna go pull you out of shape. So now my centre back is somewhere in midfield, and I've got a hole at the back. It all depends on like the context of the game, context of the quality of the players as well, the tactics of the team.
Yeah,
are we defending high? Are we defending low? So on and so on. Do we have a defensive midfielder in front of us, or do we not have a defensive midfielder in front of us? I think what we should, instead of focusing on central strikers, it's about how many forwards are we playing. For me, if you're playing with a 4-3-3, but like today, Aubameyang is coming off the left into a central area, that is just as effective as playing two strikers, two centre forwards.
Yeah.
Centre forwards.
Yeah.
People think Firmino is Liverpool's centre forward. No.
Oh no.
In a sense of the runs that he makes, the position he occupies. Obviously,
they don't really have like a classic number 9. Exactly. They don't have a classic number 9.
So it's just like.
But I mean, but my thing is that why I think the Aubameyang and Lacazette thing can work is that it's very interchangeable. Because remember, Aubameyang started as a wide man for Dortmund, and Klopp then molded him into a striker, similar to Henry. Yeah. So I think that Aubameyang is a guy who I can drift out wide, but he'll also come in the middle, and I'm deadly at finishing. He's the best finisher out there. Lacazette is a guy who is far better at ball control and working in tight positions than Aubameyang is.
Yeah.
So they have things that complement each other. Aubameyang is the better finisher. He's also faster as well, and is much more direct. Lacazette has better ball control, better dribbling, and is better on the ball. So literally, if Emery on the training ground can just say, work and understanding, interprets the position, it's going to be very problematic than saying, Aubameyang, you play by yourself. A midfield that isn't that good. Xhaka is trash. Guendouzi, I still think is very young. Ozil is overrated. So you have a midfield who are not really working on that well.
That's all like agenda-driven stuff. Like the Xhaka stuff, you ain't going to hear any kind of argument from me. I said when he came in, I think he had a good start when he came in. Initial few months, but he's been poor for the vast majority of his Oscar career so far.
And Ozil,
I feel like he's doing with Ozil. It's like he's a quality player that's not giving you the maximum visibility. I think that's for a variety of reasons. But you start him. You start Ozil.
Why?
You start Ozil because he's still your best creative midfielder.
Okay,
we'll get back onto that. You're on FanPark Live. You're speaking to Chris Kane and Double H. What's your name and what are your thoughts on the game?
My name's Rohil. I'm an Arsenal fan. And
What's your name? That was a bit fast, bro. What's your name?
Rohil.
Rohil. Nice to meet you, Rohil. Talk to us.
I'm glad with the result. Yeah, another finally an away win. Like, we've not really good in away wins, are we? And I think Guendouzi had a good game. Torreira was a game changer as soon as he came on with the assist.
Definitely.
And I think the way we played with Aubameyang on the left and Lacazette at the top, I think that works. And I don't know, I wanted to see Mkhitaryan today, but it didn't happen.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Ozil? Because me and him are about to get into it. What do you think of his performances so far this season? Obviously, this game in particular.
Watching the game, he had a few good dribbles and a few good passes, but he wasn't really a game changer. And I don't know. I think we're gonna have to wait till the end of the season to see like if he's like changing under Unai Emery, you know.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, Rohil.
So it's not gonna happen. Rohil it isn't happening, man. I mean, what does Ozil really bring? I keep seeing this thing that he's world class. He's one of the best playmakers out there. What does this dude do? I'm sorry, this guy consistently disappears in big games. You cannot. He is the most untrustworthy guy in big games.
You're asking a question, right? What does he do? And he's the most untrustworthy guy.
Yeah.
Games. I've seen him perform in big games, even when we've not played well in particular seasons.
When was the last time Ozil gave you a top performance in a big game for Arsenal? Where you fully noticed him.
There's definitely one I'm thinking. He definitely played well against one of the top teams last season on a couple of occasions. I have to think about it.
You can't. There isn't one.
Okay, I understand you have a point.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're way too intelligent to argue to an extreme to demonstrate your point.
Okay.
So let's not use the he's never ever played belt well. Let's not do that.
Okay. No.
If we want to get like really semantic, like get pedantic, I could get big games up. It's not an issue, but we're having a discussion. Okay, but you're asking a question. What does he do? The reason why he starts is at the end of the day in midfield, you need good midfielders that can win you the ball back. You need good midfielders that can dictate a game and create chances from deep areas. You need good midfielders that are able to give you penetration from the middle with their runs, good box-to-box midfielders. You also need good midfielders that are able to create chances from further up the pitch and also keep the ball moving in more condensed areas of the pitch where there's less time and less space. There is no midfielder at Arsenal currently that does that better than Mesut Özil. Whether you believe his overall game is still matching up to the level he's rated at, that's another discussion, and I won't sit here and argue that he plays as well as his reputation demands of him. Like, he hasn't done that in a long time for me. His last stretch of quality football, in my opinion, was the early parts of the 2016-2017 season. This is off the back of, like, when Arsenal beat Chelsea 3-0. Arsenal, at that point, were playing Alexis as number 9. He was playing in behind him. He was getting great goals. He was getting great assists. He was playing off, like, he was playing at the Mesut Özil level for that stretch of games. That's the last time I could say, genuinely, that's the last time I saw a world-class player from him. He hasn't been that player for a while. However, that's been partially down, in my opinion, to his own contribution or lack of contribution. I also think it's down to the malaise at Arsenal and just the fact that 90% of the players at Arsenal look rubbish, and also down to the fact that he was under a poor coach.
I mean, look, I do agree with you that based on what Arsenal have, he has to play. But I think that Emery and Arsenal should actively be looking for a replacement for Ozil, because I think that Ozil is perfect for a really good team. You put Ozil in Real Madrid, he'd be amazing. You put Ozil in Barcelona and PSG, he'd be amazing. With what Arsenal have, Arsenal do not have the players that PSG or Real Madrid have. So with what Arsenal have and who they can attract to their club, Ozil doesn't work. Because Ozil is not a guy that can make a average team really good. He's not that kind of player. He can make an amazing team even better. But in Arsenal current situation, he can't.
But surely you could just use the logic that you should just buy better players to put around him.
Can Arsenal...
As opposed to replacing him.
No. But my thing is that I don't think that Arsenal are in a situation where they can attract enough players of the caliber that Ozil will look
But
really
Arsenal don't need... Like, people talk about Arsenal like they need a revamp. Like, really and truly, in terms of the midfield areas, Arsenal need a better wide option. Need a better player from wide, in my opinion.
They need a better central midfielder, a better defence.
Hold on. In terms of accentuating Ozil's game, obviously, if you have a better centre-back, then it helps Arsenal in general. But it doesn't do much to enhance Ozil's game. I think we definitely need at least one additional centre midfielder. I also feel like we definitely need an extra wide player of that calibre. That's only 2 players. Because I think with Torreira in there, that's a player that's... Like, you saw it today as soon as he came on. Like, they're on a similar wavelength. You've got Aubameyang. You've also got Ozil involved in that. You add another wide player. You add another central midfielder, like a better box-to-box player, in my opinion. Then at that point, then there's no excuse on Ozil. He needs great players around him. No, because you have the unit, you have the midfield unit, and you have the attacking unit that basically does everything that you require your number 10 to perform at that level. I think with Ozil, it's a thing of, listen, man, I wouldn't argue he's a world-class player. I think you have to be world-class, you have to perform at a top level. Consistently. Consistently. He hasn't done that in a while. When I talk about players like Christian Eriksen, for me being on a similar, if not superior level to him, I mean that. Because even though I wouldn't say Eriksen has more ability, he's performed better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fair.
But I feel like it's just a case of it being scapegoated. If you look at the problems that Arsenal have at the moment, we could definitely do with better individuals, in particular in defence. Like, for me, you replace the goalkeeper, you replace the 2. Like, those 3 positions are the most pressing positions for Arsenal. Replace those 3 and you're in a good position. I think Guendouzi's done enough. You think Guendouzi, I mean, should he be starting for Arsenal? No. But I feel like he's performed at a level, like, he's played very good games against Manchester City, Chelsea, West Ham.
Oh, no, friend. I think it's...
In his debut season.
No, true.
At 19.
Guendouzi and Torreira should be the thing. I think if it's like a choice of, okay, you have Guendouzi, Xhaka, Torreira, it should be Torreira and Guendouzi for sure. But I think with the whole Ozil thing, I just think that it's a perception thing. And it's this water, because I always use the eye test. I don't use stats. I use the eye test. That's how I just view football. And for me, I just think that as a number 10, you need to do more than just, okay, I've given the pass. Okay, I've given that through ball. That's it. My job is done. And I think Ozil apologists say, well, he gave the pass, so that's it. No, as a number 10, demand the ball, get on the ball, keep looking for the ball, keep pressing, move forward with the ball. Hence why I just think Ozil is very much a specific cog you just put in a really good team. So even if Arsenal had a Torreira, a really good wide man, it has to be an exceptional wide man, an exceptional midfielder. Because if it's not, Arsenal are still a few levels below Man City, a few levels below Liverpool. So even if they got that wide man and that midfielder, I still think that they're still considerably a few levels below Liverpool and Man City. So when they do play Liverpool or Man City, Ozil again will get found out.
We just have one more call that will end the show on. Hopefully the call come through any second now. This guy's promising me things. You know what I'm saying? Like promising me things. It's not coming up, bro. Okay, hold on. Where's them cool, bro? It's not. Technical difficulties, as you can see.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He promises something.
So,
but like, again, we talk about Man City, we talk about Liverpool.
Arsenal are a long way from there.
Listen, at the beginning of the last season, there's not one player you looked at in that Liverpool side and said they're world class. Not one. Salah included. Sometimes it's just about the quality of the team in general, how cohesive they are.
Wait, so you say Man is not world class?
No, Man is not world class.
Oh no!
So what?
You can't do that. You can't say that. You can't say that.
3 minutes ago, we said
you can't say
a world class player is someone who performs at the top level consistently, right?
That's what he did last season. So
what's the top level?
Top level for your position. You're saying that Sadio Mane in his position.
I'm asking you, what is the top level of football? What is the highest level of football in your opinion?
Well, international football or Champions League or in Europe.
We'll get back to this. Hold on. You're on FanPark Live. You're speaking to Chris Kane and Double H. Talk to us. What's your name and what are your thoughts on the game?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Devin in Atlanta.
Oh, Devin, my guy, man. We back, man. We back. We in here. How you been?
Hey, man, it's 3 points, man. I can't complain. You know, I got my buddy in town from joe.co.uk. My boy Will Lavin is staying with me for a couple of weeks, so I'm excited about that. So
no worries, that's a good look.
We got to watch the match this morning, so I'm excited about that. You know, we taking 3 points in a time like this, we're in a transition phase. We know that.
A man with sense, a man with logic and patience. And
So Devin, if Arsenal don't come top 4 this season, would you say it would be a failure for Emery if they don't make top 4 this season?
No, because I've said all along, it's 3 windows, man. I mean, next season is really the season to judge him on. There's still players that are getting. I said this last week with Terry. There's a lot of square peg and round hole in this squad, and we see it all the time. We're still tinkering. Emery's still trying to fix. A team to his liking, to his fit, to his 4-3-3 preferred style. We're still playing this mutant version of a 4-3-3 where, the best number 10 in the world, in my opinion, and I'll get slated for that. I know I will. I love Mesut Özil.
No. In the world, best number 10. That's crazy now. That's crazy.
Let him land.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine. He set up that second goal today. With the flick to Laka, or with the pass to Laka flick to Aubameyang. I just think that when he clicks with those 2 forwards, you're going to see Arsenal take points. And we're in this point now where we can get this run. This is 3 points that we had to get. Last week was 3 points that we had to get. And if it's a little bit difficult, it's a little bit difficult. The problem with me is the defense and the goalkeeping. I mean, we've given up 8 goals in 4 matches. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
We need, and we spent $20 million. We spent $20 million on a keeper with limited resources that we're not playing. And it's not like he's a kid. He's 26 years old.
Yeah.
Blaburn Lennon, please.
I hear you, man.
And if Hector Bellerin is going to be a right mid or a right winger, then do it. But you've got a world-class player in Stefan Lichtsteiner. You've got a player in Torreira that has to play. Everybody calls Ozil a passenger. Granit Xhaka is the biggest passenger I have ever seen. What does he do? What position does he play? Help me, please. 35 million pounds for what? For what? A yellow card. That's it. Help me.
No. I mean, no. Xhaka is a waste because, that's your main central midfielder, and he literally, basically, you've gone from Vieira, Gilberto Silva to a bona fide brick in Xhaka, because the guy literally.
I mean, there were a couple of midfielders in between. We didn't go from Gilberto Silva
No,
to Xhaka.
but I'm saying Xhaka has been one of the worst in recent memory for playing in that position for Arsenal. Because literally, I'm not sure what he does apart from a few long shots.
I remember the Alexander Song days, bro. Listen, Dev, thank you very much for your call. It's great catching up with you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Premier League games too, man. All right, listen, man. Speak soon, my bro.
I'll take the points, bro. Every week. Give me 3 points and I'm happy.
No worries, my guy. Thank you for the call.
6 or 1-0.
Wait, no. Song is better than Xhaka, man. Alexander Song?
I don't know, man.
So
listen, you're telling me that Mane is world class, and we're going to end very soon. But I need to really like probe him on this because this is bothering me.
All right.
So my thing is, if we're saying the top levels of international football, whether it be World Cup, whether it be Champions League,
and Europe for Champions League,
right? I wouldn't say having one good season in the Champions League makes you world class.
You have to still say that for what he. You have to look at what a guy is doing right now.
Yeah.
And for right now, he's a world-class player.
But right now isn't world-class. Right now isn't consistency. If, like, you're contradicting yourself when you're saying that to be world-class requires a certain degree of consistency.
So Mbappe is not world-class then because he's only just come onto the scene. So is Mbappe world-class to you?
No, but I've not made the argument that he's world-class.
So Mbappe is not world-class?
No. And you're talking to a French guy.
Oh, my... And
you're talking to a French guy.
C'est pas possible. C'est pas possible.
Don't ever try to speak French ever again because that accent was wayward. But the point I'm making is
African French,
like
man.
A world-class player is someone like Modric is a world-class player. Ronaldo is a world-class player.
Oh, God.
These are world-class players. These are guys that not only perform at the highest level, they've done it for 2-3 plus seasons.
Cristiano is a goal scorer. Right. Not a world-class player, a world-class goal scorer. He's a world-class goal scorer, not a world-class player.
Whatever the semantics you want to use, like the point I'm making is deviating. The original point is that you use the example of Liverpool and what they do so well and what their forwards do so well. But the reality of the situation is that, bear in mind, this is someone who actually said, I actually think this forward line, because when they bought Salah, everyone was saying, okay, they still need a world-class striker. They still need a top striker. I said, no, because I see what they're doing. And ultimately, that is more about how well the unit plays together. So it isn't necessarily about always having world-class players available to you and that makes it a world-class unit. No, it's do you have players of sufficient quality and are you able to put them together in a way that brings out the best of them? So it doesn't require Özil to need an exceptional winger or an exceptional centre midfielder behind him. They just need to, like Torreira isn't exceptional, but he's good enough. And that's the point. So we'll wrap it on that. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching. Obviously we've got the live shows straight afterwards for the... Watford, United, Tottenham, and who United playing again?
United against Burnley.
That second game should be pretty interesting, actually. So, thank you very much for your time. I've been your boy Chris Kane. I'm out here with Double H.
Peace.
It's been a pretty intense conversation, but this is how we like it. And enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.